Sometimes the Yetzer Hara creeps into our mind and tells us it's futile. How are you going to win this Yetzer Hara? You're not going to succeed. And we have to be able to respond, yes, I can and I will. A number of years ago, Rabbi Milstein shared with me that he was presenting at a discovery seminar in Denver, Colorado. And there, at the conclusion of one of his presentations, he opened up to the audience a question and answer session. A young boy stood up. He was 16 years old. His name was Yoshi. And he said, Rabbi, if God is so good, why is my life so difficult? And he shared that when he was 2.5 years old, his mother was severely impaired, mentally imbalanced, and the Child Protective Services and the police came to the house and ripped him away and placed him in foster care. And he started to describe how he went from one home to the other, and he was subjected to such verbal tongue lashings and abuse. He described how when he was 14 years old, his mother mounted a legal challenge and she was able to get him back. And he described some of the horrors and torments that he was experiencing daily in his mother's home. Rabbi, he said, if God exists and he's such a good God like you say, why is Hashem doing this to me? Rabbi Milstein looked up heavenwards and he said, Hashem, it's all on you. And he looked at Yoshi. He said, Yoshi, I want you to imagine that you're 60 years old. You're driving your car down the highway, and on the side of the highway, you see a Barnes & Noble's bookstore. There's a cafe inside, it's a hot day, and you decide you're going to pull in, you'll sip a cold iced coffee, and you'll read some books. As you walk in the door, in the front of the store, there's a table piled high with the New York Times bestsellers. You're curious, and you go over, and you look at the front cover of that book. There's a picture of you, Yoshi, on that book, holding a rope, climbing sheer cliff. From the depths of despair and child abuse to the heights of personal success, my story, Yoshi Goldberg. Yoshi, Hashem is subjecting you to what you're experiencing only because through this, you're going to write a book that's going to change the world. You're going to write a book that's going to inspire others. You're going to realize the mission for which you were created. The entire audience stood on their feet and started clapping. They started chanting, "Go, Yoshi, go! Go, Yoshi, go!" A smile broke out on his face. His chest was lifted up, and when he walked out of that lecture hall, there was such a spring in his step. He was ready to take on his challenges with renewed spirit and confidence. Each and every morning, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling us, I trust you. You can. I'm giving you a new lease on life. Forget anything that was. Go, Naftali, go! Go, Yoshi, go! Go, Chaim, go! Go, Miriam, go! If Hashem is saying it, is accompanied by the entire Pamalia Shalmala, by all the myriads of angels. All we need to do is open up our eyes, our hearts, and our ears to hear that heavenly reverberation. Yes, I can. Yes, I will. I will be one with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, pristine and clean, part of his heavenly throne for eternity. This is my book.